bit more tech. We got some wild tech stuff. We got Mr. Who's the Boss. He's got another video or so. Except this is crazy gadgets or so from Xiaomi. Xiaomi? I don't know what that is. I think Xiaomi is the one that does the phone stuff, right? Question mark. So I'm curious to see. I know it's from China, but I don't know what specific gadgets they kind of like do when it comes to electronics. So I'm curious to see what China has, you know, when it comes to technology. I'm super curious on this actually. I love talking about random stuff.
1 year ago, I bought the craziest Xiaomi gadgets I could find. Turns out I had barely scratched the surface. So this time, I went deep. We've got everything from a lock that you can open using the veins in your palm to Xiaomi's absolutely insane-looking AI robotic dog replacement. So let's start with one that's giving major Father's Day gift Facebook ad energy. Their multifunction flashlight, which, like any half-decent dad product, can do 100 things in one. So, 1000 lumen main light, which is not breaking any records, but then you can zoom. So I can go from floodlight, oh my goodness, to spotlight. That actually massively increases the brightness. There's a side light, which is 2 different levels of white to be able to see what you're doing, but then also it flashes in case you really screw up. So it flashes red for SOS, and then yellow, which is the best.
This is definitely such a dad product. It's literally for your dad.
Being able to see through fog.
This is for your dad.
There's even a seatbelt cutter for car-based emergencies. Right, seatbelt me.
Ah, sorry. This doesn't feel like it's gonna work. What the hell? That is super impressive.
But here's what's really going to bring the dads to the yard. A window breaker. Yes, I bought a real car door just to test this. Cheaper than you'd expect, but. So you push down onto the glass, and as soon as enough force is applied... Oh my God!
Every person in who robs stuff in California are orgasming right now. every thief or stuff from California, New York City, and whatever other shenanigans. They're looking at they're like, oh, car break-in. Oh, I can steal more stuff. Oh.
It effectively ejects a spring-loaded breaker into the glass, which shatters the whole thing. They've even added these little ridges on the light to finish off any of the glass that didn't shatter, but there isn't much. And then when you're completely done writing off your mate's Fiat 500, it's got a rotating magnet, so you can attach it to surfaces and then adjust the lighting angle while you pretend to look like you know how to fix a car. Honestly, considering this is a $30 product, this is already a Hall of Fame contender. 9.5 out of 10. Might as well just embrace the inner father at this point with the Xiaomi pressure washer.
These are definitely all fucking dad products.
I will say, as far as pressure washers go, fairly smart looking, and it's cordless, so you don't need to plug it in. You just drop the nozzle into a bucket. So first you flick the nozzle to foam, and this is going to coat the whole thing in a layer of soap. One thing I'll say, the coverage is pretty immediate. And the spray. Pretty underwhelming compared to pressure washers that come with their own dedicated compressor units. But it's enough, it's working. And then if I specifically want a little bit more power for stubborn dirt, you can set the nozzle to a jet. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, what average user is going to need more power than that? It's even actually taking the glass out of the windows. So it's not quite pro equipment, but I would say it's everything that a non-pro needs in one sexy package.
That's pretty crazy, I'm not gonna lie.
And just when you thought Xiaomi was done...
My mom would definitely use that 100%.
...diversifying their portfolio, they also make a smart skipping rope. Which uses 3 sets of magnetic Hall effect sensors in the handles.
The mirror has a smart thing in it, a smart mirror. There's a smart TV, there's a smart phone, there's a smart jumping rope, there's a smart this and a smart that.
To keep track of how many reps you've done, which is absolutely hilarious considering the Nintendo Switch 2 still doesn't have any. And again, incredibly affordable. This thing is $28, and it comes with both the cord for the traditional ankle smacking skipping experience. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ow! Also, it knows that I whipped myself, and it hasn't counted that last rep. Add insult to injury, why don't you? But then, to avoid that entirely, you could also use the thing
cordless. I will say these little weights on the ends are doing a pretty good job of simulating the effect without simulating the pain. Let's not kid ourselves. Swinging a pretend jump rope is not going to win you aura points. 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50. And it says 49. So pretty accurate, but not spot on. And then it feeds that data and more to your Xiaomi fitness app. You get the standard stuff like calories, but then also crazy things like a chart that shows the cadence of your workout and your average and max jumps per minute. Don't know who's tracking their skips to that level, but the coolest thing about this for me is really the fact that it doesn't need the app. It's just a skipping rope, but better.
Now, when I filmed that last Xiaomi Gadgets video, I fell unexpectedly in love with their motion sensing nightlight 2. I put them all over my house and they're one of the best tech products I've ever bought. So, are the new nightlight 3s even better? The important thing to bear in mind here is this is $15. $15 gets you a light that can go pretty bright and extremely dim, has a magnet on the back to detach it and attach it, has both an ambient light and motion sensor baked in, so it only turns on when it is dark and you walk past. And now the difference between the 2 and the 3 is instead of AA batteries here, this is a rechargeable battery with USB-C charging that apparently lasts up to 8 months before you need to top it up.
You know what as well?
8 months is pretty impressive, I'm not gonna lie.
The 3s aren't quite as bright as the 2s, but I love this. I love that they fixed like the one remaining issue with these nightlights, which is that the 2s used to shine directly at you. This is shielded, so you're only ever getting indirect light. It's just such a fuss-free gadget. Like the entire setup is just tap this to select between high and low brightness, use the slider to set it to auto, and then just stick it on your wall. Done. 9 out of 10. So far then, we've found that a lot of Xiaomi's niche products are extremely good. But for me, the question that is just as interesting is, how good are their most popular ones? So this is their Smart Band 10, offering basically smartwatch functionality, but for $45. And then they also have their luxury variant, the Glimmer Edition, which is $95. So I've been wearing this $45 band for a few days now, at the same time as this $800 Apple Watch Ultra 3 that I just switched to, because I keep breaking the normal Apple Watches. That's its own story. But here's the thing. I am absolutely shocked by how comparable it is. Like, there shouldn't be a situation where you have to think about it when you're comparing a product that's 1/10 of the price, or in this case, almost 1/20th. But here, you actually do. Look at this. This is weather, this is calories, this is activity, this is step count. This is giving me all of the same information as my Apple Watch, and not in a cheap Chinese knockoff way that you might expect for the money. This is still a proper AMOLED display that runs at a smooth 60 frames per second. Then I thought, oh, well, you know, the step counting's gonna suck. But I've done multiple walks of 200 steps, and it's very consistently reporting between 200 and 205, which is as good as the Apple Watch. I've been using it for sleep too, which, by the way, it is significantly more comfortable to wear for than any kind of Apple Watch. It's basically like wearing a bracelet. And again, the results it gives me are very aligned with what my Apple Health says and also what my bed's own tracking software says. The Apple Watch is way more of a smartphone in itself. It can run proper apps, it can reply to messages.
I would totally buy that.
If you don't need that, which I come to realize I don't at all, then this Xiaomi has completely changed my mind on how much the average user should be spending to track their health. Because it still has like 150.
I do need to buy something to track my health, actually, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie. I really do, actually. I really should. I'm trying to lose weight, or so
still
I
has the
should
same
probably
water
buy
resistance
some
as
things that
Apple,
should
but
probably
also
help
with
me
a
a little
battery
bit,
that lasts
at
for
least, you know?
10 days, even with the
track of
display
things.
always on, compared to 1 and maybe 2 at a push. I think this Glimmer Edition is very nice, but quite strange. It feels like a weird proposition to pay twice the price for nice materials on a product that's otherwise so laser focused on value. The base watch, even better than the flashlight. 10 out of 10.
Damn, 10 out of 10.
This streak
wow.
of products has been...
Because it is cheaper than the Apple version, and it's probably cheaper than any of the other smartwatches that are out there. So if it does it, then I don't see anything wrong with it.
Suspiciously successful so far, which
As
means
desktop
statistically we're due a
speaker.
stinker. So is it going to be Xiaomi's desktop speaker, which is a fairly atypical product for a desk because it's actually a soundbar.
A soundbar?
I guess there is one very immediate, obvious benefit. That looks so clean compared to having, say, 2 big bookshelf speakers on either side. It doesn't feel cheap either, and it's got this outrageously
But people who do audio files and like audio related things or so wouldn't probably use it unless it actually has really good audio. So, Because I think some of them use speakers. Like they
Fine
use
knob on the
specific
side.
speakers.
which you use to control volume, and you can see it being represented on this light bar at the bottom. It's meant to add vibes and pulse with the music, but I'm not really sure why they bothered, because it's so dim that you'd probably have to be working in pitch black to notice. Okay, I would say better than pretty much every laptop speaker, not quite as good as the best Bluetooth speakers for this price. The audio could be a little bit cleaner. It's definitely my least favorite product so far, but it's not bad, so 6.5.
I was gonna say 7.
Now, when it comes to the smartphone, the idea of carrying around earphones or even a power bank, I would say, has
Printer
become
Pro?
fairly normalized. But one thing that definitely hasn't caught on is the portable printer. So let's see if Xiaomi's
portable
fairly
printer?
pricey Printer Pro can change that. So let's say I wanted to print a photo of this fine gentleman. Let's add a little tag at the bottom. Aaron in his dad mode era. Now we just print. It does actually take a decent amount of time, about a minute in total, because it's applying the dye one layer of color at a time. Ooh, for a printer this tiny, that is a blummin' impressive result. Feels like you can see each strand of hair, and the colors are spot on,
That's
not in the
fucking
slightest
crazy.
bit faint. Although the downside of that is that each ink cartridge only lasts about 10 prints. But you know
Oh.
the craziest part is this image is actually a video in which this handsome devil is showing you how insane it is that our sponsor, Surfshark VPN, costs less than a coffee. And not even a good one. How do you
really?
activate these videos? Literally, hold out your phone.
Oh,
There's
I
no
didn't
QR
know
codes.
that.
It reads the actual image itself and then plays back the video in its place in augmented reality.
So now you can see that my wife's
That is pretty cool, I'm not gonna lie.
favorite TV show ever, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, is not available
I
on
don't think it's
Netflix
true,
in the
though.
US. But if you use Surfshark to switch your location to the UK, give it a quick refresh. And the show
Wow, it's a
pops.
pretty good
My
project.
EDC?
Anyways.
Probably not. Is this the best one I've tried though? Yeah. I'd give it an 8 out of 10. But now we're entering the
about
upper
right.
echelon. These are some of the most expensive products Xiaomi makes.
For Pad
Starting with the
Mini?
$500 iPad Mini. Sorry, Pad Mini. But yeah, it's pretty clear that this is Xiaomi's answer to Apple's fun-sized iPad. And to be fair, assuming we're comparing the 256 gig versions, it is $100 cheaper. Feels solid enough, pretty high quality. It's got not one, but 2 USB-C ports. So you could charge through this one while the other is connected up to a USB hub like this. There's this
Okay.
whole thing about how it's got an 8.8-inch design, but it's still exceptional for one-handed use. I mean, I've got massive hands, and even then, that hurts. I will say the AI features look very snazzy. Like I'm asking here for it to input a summarized workout plan to build 10 kilos of muscle in 3 weeks into my notepad. And it all feels very baked into the software as opposed to tacked on. There's also AI art where you can circle a sketch, then add in a bunch of extra criteria and it spawns an outcome. I don't think the results are anything that other companies aren't doing. I just like the UI. Apart from that, it seems absolutely fine at ignoring my thumb when it's resting on the screen, and I do like that they've gone for a chunky 7,500 mAh battery. Plus, this has a 120Hz display compared to the 60 on the iPad. Although I would say that's less of a Xiaomi W, more just an Apple L. So, not blown away, but good mini tablet. I'd give it an 8.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
Now at $700, we're going
How
weird
is
again.
that?
So this pretty unusual looking thing is Xiaomi's absolutely jacked smart door lock and doorbell. And to
Jesus Christ, for 700 for that? What the hell?
put it together, we also got the Xiaomi brushless cordless drill, because I absolutely loved the electric screwdriver that we tested in the last Xiaomi
that's
video,
pretty
and
cool, actually.
this feels like essentially just a juiced up version of that. Plus it completes the dad infinity gauntlet.
It almost
Well,
looks
this
like
doesn't
a
look
like
like
a
a
hair blow
Monsters Inc.
dryer.
movie. Oh, it's exactly what I thought it would be. Xiaomi's very minimal take on a tool that's often fairly unsightly,
That's
with all
fucking
these
cool, I ain't
magnetic
gonna
drill
lie.
bits included. I would say just like the pressure washer, it's every bit as powerful as it needs to be for the drilling that I'd feel comfortable doing myself. The way I see it, anything that needs more is a commercial job anyway. But it's also a screwdriver. So the heads here are split into 2 sections. These ones are drill bits, and then these ones are driver bits. And you can just flick between the modes on the top of the thing like this. Okay, and now our lock is ready to go.
Okay.
I give this a very high 9. It's not like record-breaking power or a feature set that's never been seen before, but it's well-rounded, and it makes me feel like an attractive man. The one thing it doesn't have is a hot swappable battery, but me personally, I'd prefer this USB-C rechargeable situation. Okay, so you know how most smart locks have a way to get in and then a backup? The thing that's blowing my mind about this device is that it has 10 ways to unlock it. Because don't you just hate it when you leave your keys and your key card and your phone and your fingerprints and your face in the other jacket? So at the very basic level, emergency mechanical key. Then you've got passwords, so I can either tap on the screen here, 6 characters, tick. Yes, security is my passion. Or if I only want to give someone access one time, I can generate a password.
What the fuck?
5690 2873.
10 ways to unlock a door.
That's so cool. Level up from that though, NFC. So you can either use a specific NFC card, which works, but I think absolutely ridiculous for a $700 lock that the card is sold separately. But you can also NFC unlock with your Xiaomi watch or your Xiaomi band. It still works. I can really tell they wanted to hit 10 though by the fact that they've counted those as 2 separate points. Number 7 is
not 10
also
ways to
app
lock
controlled,
pick. You just
so I
only
can
have
just
to
press and
lock
hold
pick through
that
one of them.
from my phone wherever I am. Don't know how I feel about that one though. If someone gets your phone, do they also get your house? Now that leaves us with the most secure options,
crazy, I'll
the
be honest with
biometrics. So first is fingerprint.
The
Pretty fast.
fingerprint.
Facial recognition. Interesting.
One eternity later.
Oh, okay. Well, that took about 5 minutes. Just doesn't work very well on my face. It's either the brown skin or the beard. But to be fair, I think number 10 makes up for it. Palm vein recognition.
Palm vein recognition? What the fuck? Didn't it just chop off your arm or so for that?
I feel like a Jedi. And because this is scanning literally inside of you, it's almost impossible to spoof. And then while all of this is happening on the outside, the person on the inside can actually see it via an interior display. I think this is so cool because there's one camera shooting down so you can see if anyone's left any packages, but also one shooting outwards so you can see the person's face. But you don't even need to see the person's face because this lock uses AI to learn the faces of people who repeatedly show up so it can recognize who is there and notify you on your phone. Stupidly expensive, stupidly extra, but at the same time, stupidly impressive. I'm gonna give it a 9. It even knows if someone tries to start unscrewing the thing and it enters an anti-tamper mode.
What? Oh, what? Wait, so it'll know if someone's trying to like break in? That's interesting.
$3,000 then. It's time for the big dog.
Holy shit, oh
No,
my
literally,
god.
this is the Xiaomi Cyberdog 2, built
for
to
the
mimic the way
dog,
that
I
a
see.
Doberman looks and behaves.
The robo-dog.
Oh my god. I feel like I'm giving birth to a little alien.
By the way, this thing was borderline impossible to buy. Like, first time we tried to get it, we actually bought it from a really shady AliExpress seller and got scammed. We lost $3,000 and the $1,000 that they charged us in customs fees. All of which to say, please be good.
当前电量为100%，当前电量为100%。
Feels a little strange trying to pair to a dog.
It's Nero's
Stand.
first fight.
Holy. So it's like very intuitive controls with the joysticks. What happens if I do
Interesting.
wiggle?
Yo, it's twerking!
I don't want to see that again. Parkour flip. What are you doing? Where are you going? Woo!
Whoa, that's cool.
Those speakers.
Damn.
My heart. You always see this thing on Instagram Reels where people push their robots. Okay, from that, it's fine. Oh no,
登录 APP 账号已启用。
I'm so sorry. What's heart?
It's cursing you in Chinese.
Oh my god. We can also change the walk
That's crazy.
to, let's do a trot. Oh my god, it's pacey. It's got gallop. This is so strange. Does it not really look like it's trying to break the floor? And now let's go into visor mode. So I can see through the cameras on the front of the dog, and you can't
down, move, walk, follow, visor, brisk, control mode, connected. Hold on, go back again. Hold on, go back. Show, slow, brisk, trot, freestyle, canter, gallop, 3 legs, and then you got some other 3 more at the bottom.
And you can't look up and down.
Not attached to BDW? Well, there was a dog shooting Nerf guns or so at the CES.
It's actually
apparently.
not a great quality live stream, but apparently one of the main benefits of all these sensors and cameras is the ability to be able to follow you. I select an object on the screen, and now it's locked onto me. Wait, so if I get up and move, oh, it's searching for me.
That's kind of
Hey, doggy.
crazy.
You can also speak to it. Tiedan. Pasya. I got the power. I mean, it's clearly niche. This is definitely the most intelligent robot I've ever tested. The thing's got 19 sensors inside of it. Depth sensors for
Kind of reminds me of like the old school toy or so. Like this is like one of those modernized, like it reminds me of this. You guys remember this? Let's see if you guys remember this. Let me see. It reminds me of this thing like a long time ago, like super long time ago. Do you guys remember? You guys remember this? Like the white dinosaur, the white super white dinosaur from like eons ago. Like this one, like this thing. Do you guys remember that? That literally is what it reminds me of. It's like a more advanced toy of this specifically. That's what that is. It's literally just the same thing. It's just more advanced. Like this is just an advanced version of it. Well, you don't know because you probably weren't even born in that era, so. There it is. That's the one right there. This is the one. This is the toy right here. Do you guys remember that? Do you guys remember that toy? Woo! Jesus Christ, that takes back memories, to be honest. That's an old school toy right there. But that's basically the same thing. You know, that's literally the same thing. It's just this one's just has some sensor cameras and a bunch of other shenanigans, so it's pretty
measuring
cool though, I'm not
distances
gonna lie.
and force sensors
It's just a
inside
new
of the feet,
version.
which is
It's just a
how
new
it
version
maintains
for
its
this
balance.
era.
It's not designed for everyone, but it's kind of filling
Oh, we never had one of those. We saw them at like the open stores or so, and like the toy store and everything, but we never got them because if you had it or so, you were living on the bougie life, to be honest.
Milo-shaped hole in my heart. 8 out of 10.
You know, I've just realized this video might actually have the highest average score of any video we've made. The
That's
drill
crazy.
activated a very primal fatherly instinct inside of me. The flashlight, I don't know what crisis it's preparing me for, but I feel ready. Ultimately though, the product that most surpassed expectations has got to be the Smartband 10.
I like this one. Yeah, I would probably totally buy this one, you know.
So, welcome
Hey,
to the
Grim.
Hall of Fame.
I would totally buy this one. For me specifically, I would totally buy that one. That
One
one,
year ago,
that
I
one's a
bought the
pretty
craziest
interesting
Xiaomi
one.
gadgets I could find.
That's cool though. That's really cool. Anyways, that's the end of the video. And crazy gadgets that they got over there, to be honest. Not bad at all. And peace. I don't know about the lock one, to be honest, but hey man, if it can stop itself from like getting unlocked or so by any other means,